Hello, hello, hello. We'll get started in just a minute. Welcome wherever you are across the world. I'm excited to be your host this evening. We'll get started here at the top of the hour. So thanks again for jumping on. You still have a couple of minutes to get people plugged in to hear about LEV AI tonight. And my name is Scott Kufus, and we're going to have some fun. So go ahead and smile and dial if you would like to reach out and contact some of your finest friends and business associates. All right, let's get started. My name is Scott Kufus, and tonight it's my privilege to be your host to talk about LEV AI. LEV AI stands for Leveraging AI, Artificial Intelligence, where the future is in your hands. And so I'm excited to share with you exactly what we're doing with this company, where we're headed, but more importantly, how it impacts you. See, LEV AI makes it simple for entrepreneurs to launch their business, to grow their businesses, to literally tell their stories around the world without an expensive CMO or agency or complicated tech skills. No matter what you're doing right now in the world, you're beginning to get impacted by AI, and everybody you know, every business on the planet is going to have to get used to how to leverage AI in their life. But for many people, they're unclear in terms of how they're going to get started. So what we're going to do at LEV AI, we're going to talk about a one-stop shop for you. One place to make it accessible for you to have online presence everywhere, where you can post to social media when you need to. We can improve your customer relations. We can show you how to build instant websites. We can show you how to build landing pages and funnels. We're going to teach you through AI how to build reminders for your personal business, whether your business is a restaurant, a hair salon, a car dealership, insurance agent, real estate agent. It doesn't really matter. And especially if you're in the direct selling industry, we're going to show you how to leverage your business like never before. Imagine having additional leads as well. We're going to cover all of that in the next 20 minutes, and we're going to show you how to profit on the absolute biggest revolution that information has ever seen. We're really fortunate that our company is actually captained by Blake Schrader. And Blake is an extraordinary business entrepreneur. Blake has been in business for a couple of decades in the consumer commerce space. He's helped lead corporations to billions of dollars in sales around the world in multiple countries. And last year, he was considering what was going on in the world today. For most of you that are on the presentation tonight, you're probably involved in direct sales business or have a small business. And he realized that the world was absolutely changing. It was turning upside down. And as a result, it required people in the marketplace to do different things. It required people to have a different capacity. And he says, what we need to do is we need to create an AI revolution so we can impact millions, tens of millions of people to take advantage of this extraordinary leap in technology. And so, if you look at all the great minds around the world, the biggest minds from the largest corporations, billion-dollar entities, trillion-dollar entities, what they have to say is profound. They're simply saying the difference with AI right now, that AI is going to be 10 times bigger than the Industrial Revolution and maybe even 10 times faster. And when information comes at a high speed, it's difficult for people to process. It's difficult for people to actually take action with technology. Not here with LEV AI. So what we're going to show you is we're going to show you how to implement AI and profit from this massive revolution. See, LEV AI solves a lot of problems. As entrepreneurs, I've been in the direct selling business for the last 40 years. I'm 62 years old, and I've gone through a lot of different phases of watching different industries and technologies tell their story to sell products and services. And every entrepreneur in the world right now is looking for tools to be more proficient, to make more profits, to use less time, to make more money so they can go build their business. And so what LEV AI does is we're going to show you how with one service, one tool suite, we can actually introduce you to a dozen different ways that you can be more productive. So we're going to make it in such a way that it's not intimidating, that it's fun, that it's interesting to learn, and you can put it to work right away. We're going to show you how to drive more leads directly to your business, your current business of choice. It doesn't matter whether you're in a direct selling business, or you're in a sales business, you're in a service business. We're going to show you with our technology, and we'll show tens of millions of other businesses around the world how they can implement these things quickly in a paint by numbers solution. And so what I'm excited about is we're going to show companies like you and your friends how to build businesses, maintain those businesses, maintain the customer flow, the communication flow, create confidence. When you're building a business, there's a lot of parts to a business. There's the conversation piece, that you're talking to the new prospect, the candidate. And then there's the follow-up and the communication piece. And as you begin to build your business, you have more confidence because you're doing things you now know how to do. When people get started with things, especially technology, they're afraid. Most people were afraid of computers in the 80s. They were afraid of how cell phones would work or whether they were even necessary. They were afraid of cable television, actually. Who needs all these different channels? Why do we need more information? When the internet came, everyone was alarmed. They weren't really sure how they could use it, whether it would be of value. And then all of a sudden with social media, all these different sites, the different ways people can communicate. But in each opportunity, literally hundreds of millions of people and eventually billions of people used every one of these technologies. And it's a fact right now that everybody the entire planet, if they're out there holding up a phone, if they're online at all, artificial intelligence, AI, is going to have a massive impact on their life. And the reason you're on the line tonight is we're going to show you how to capitalize on that and profit from it. Not just use the technology, but we're going to remove the barriers and we're going to teach you how to earn income with the LEV AI opportunity. And you're going to do it in such a fashion, you're going to be motivated and excited to tell other people because of your own personal results. Again, after many, many decades of being in direct selling, one of the things I find that's most important is when I buy a product or service or offer a product or service, it does what I say. And so for many opportunities, you might find something like nutrition products, skincare products, or others where you might be interested. A small segment of the economy might be interested. Maybe it's 5%, maybe it's 10% that are looking for that solution. And then you have to convince people to just order it, and then it takes a week or 2 weeks for those products to get to them, and then they have to just see whether it works before they start to tell a story. But with the LEV AI solution, what's exciting is when you sign up for our services, you get to implement them right away. And right away, you get to implement a variety of services that can profit your business right out the gate. So one is your social media branding strategy. If you're watching this today, wherever you are on the planet, you want to brand yourself. Like the new Q, if you were to look at what's valuable in your life right now, it's the relationships, the network that you have around the world. Do you have a small network of a few hundred people, a few thousand people, like most people maybe on Facebook? Or have you made an effort to really tell your story where you're reaching tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of people? I was talking to a gentleman today, actually. He had 900,000 followers on one system and 400,000 on another, 600,000 on another. And what he liked about what we had was we have a solution where if you're brand new, you could learn to post and improve your brand all across the world immediately. And so everyone on here could benefit from that. We also are going to show people right away how to communicate more efficiently with the customer base. We're going to show you how to build an instant website. How many people out there have an idea or a website they wanted to build that just didn't build it? Wouldn't it be cool if you logged on today, purchased our service, and then when you use the service, you're immediately able to build a website in the next 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes that gets published today, that can receive traffic today, that can generate leads today for you, and you can put it into gear. And it doesn't matter if you want to sell pizzas with it or automobile parts, or you want to promote leads for the current business you're in. If we can help you drive more business, you're going to be excited. And we can offer that to everybody. The reason this is growing so quickly, And I only heard about this 3 weeks ago. And what's fascinating is even though the founder of the company's been working on it quite a while, in 3 weeks, we've already attracted over 10,000 people that raise their hands and says, you know what? I need these services. Everybody's talking about AI. Everybody I know is interested. I'm going to start to share the story. 3 weeks in, over 10,000 people, and we're only a few weeks away from launching around the world. So we have no idea how many more thousands and thousands of people will hear about the story before we even launch. But we know this, you're hearing about it before they are. You're hearing about it first. You're hearing about it weeks before our launch. And so not only are we going to show you how to build websites and build funnels, but we're going to create reminder systems that communicate to you about how to talk to your prospects and generate more leads for you. We do all that with one solution, which is why we're so excited about what's happening. So let's walk through each one of these services quickly, and then we'll show you how to profit from exactly what's happening in the marketplace. The first is the social media story. You know, for a lot of people, they don't know what to say and what to do. But you know what? AI makes it possible where you can enter some information into the system and it will say, how do you want to tell this story? Do you want to be on TikTok? Do you want to be on Instagram? Do you want to be on Facebook? Do you want to post on YouTube? Do you want to do shorts? Hey, you've never done that before? No problem. We're going to show you how to set up the thumbnails. We're going to actually give you the hashtags. We're going to give you the hooks. We'll even write the script for you. And if all of that doesn't make any sense to you, and it doesn't for a lot of people, guess what? It doesn't matter because AI does it for you. That's the whole point, is you don't have to learn like an entire new system, a new language. You can plug in, answer some questions, and we can get you unstuck and you can start telling your story way more efficiently. The next is your customer relationship. So when you bring in customers and you drive people to a solution, what we want you to be able to do is talk to them in a powerful way. Wouldn't it be powerful if when you bought a product or service, you were able to communicate exactly the way the person that you're talking to needs to be communicated to? You know, there's lots of different ways people learn. Some people are visual learners. Some people it's important that the key words that you have. Some people have feelings. Some people are visionaries. But what we're able to do, if you wanted to talk to a prospect, you can put their name in the system, you can scan their name on your phone, it will go online and it will begin to research your prospect. It will look at their various social media accounts, maybe pop on over to LinkedIn, pop on to Facebook, see if there's any information out there about that prospect. It will assemble the information and then it will provide for you the best way to begin to talk to that prospect. It's like a prospecting or candidate coach in your pocket, like a little genie that says, hey, this is the best way to talk to Joe. This is the best way to talk to April. Wouldn't that be powerful if in advance you had a little information to provide the insight that's necessary to help people tell a story? Well, we do that with LEV AI. And when it comes to building a website, as I said, everybody knows somebody that wants to build a website. And we're going to show you how to do that the first day if you're interested. You can just get on in and get started and build something of value that you can tell other people about. Imagine your story instead of waiting a week or 2 or 3 weeks to feel better or look younger. You could build something your first day and point to your friends and say, look what I just built with LEV AI. Check out this website that tells my story. It helps create better contact. Maybe it's a virtual business card for you or a resume. Maybe there's a great idea you have, or it's simply a way you can organize yourself. But the bottom line is, you now have a success story on day one. And when you have success stories, you're powerful and you tell your story. And you know that that's really, really important when you're in the direct sales or relationship marketing business. We have reminders to stay ahead of everything for people. So I'm a forgetful person. I like to take notes on a lot of things, but I certainly don't take the lists that I need to. I love the idea that we have a service that's going to remind me to follow up with people. I like the idea of 10 in play and 3 today. Have 10 conversations going and follow up and get 3 people to make a decision. Well, you could set that up as your preferences. Could teach you how to have the right follow-up system. But more importantly, what if you had 10 people that followed these same systems? What if you had 100 people following the same systems? You know, we just brought on 10,000 in 3 weeks in pre-launch. Imagine when we're reaching tens of millions of people. What we have going with LEV AI is a story that 100 million people will hear about in the next 18 months. And the only variable will be what percentage of those 100 million people will actually decide to take action. With billions of people online right now, and every one of them getting bombarded with stories, they're going to start with the company and the individual that makes it easy for them to say yes right out of the gate. And that's LEV AI. All the different services we're talking about, including providing a bunch of leads for you, is all included for essentially the price of a cup of coffee on a daily basis. Like for $50 or $100 a month, you can access all these amazing services, but that's not even all. You see, we're actually going to create for you your own AI twin. Like, think about this. Wouldn't it be amazing if you could be in two places at one time? Well, you can with LEV AI. See, what we're doing is we're providing you your own AI twin, and all we need is a picture. Right here, we have a delicious picture of Larry Lane. Larry Lane's done an extraordinary job telling the story here at LEV AI. And so all Larry did was post a picture and send it in. And just like you can post your picture, or if you're shy, you could just choose from a library anybody's picture. But what's exciting is you can now create video animation in any language. So imagine having dozens of languages or 100 different languages, and you can create your own AI script to tell your story with your face or somebody else's face in another language. Here's an example.
De usar la función de conversión de foto a video de LEV AI, que pronto estará disponible. Se llama My AI Video y puede convertir tu foto en una representación de ti con movimiento y voz.
So here's what's exciting. Larry doesn't speak any Spanish. That's what's exciting. He just provided a picture. Do you have the capability of providing a picture? Yes. Well, then you have the ability to speak Spanish.
Estoy encantado de usar.
It's exciting. Check that out. And so if that wasn't enough, guess what? Larry, he can speak
yakında piyasaya sürülecek
lots of languages.
Videoya dönüştürme özelliğini kullanmaktan heyecan duyuyorum. Adı My AI Video ve fotoğrafınızı hareket.
See, Larry can speak Turkish too. All because he provided a picture. You can speak Turkish too. You can speak Chinese. You can speak Portuguese. You can speak Thai. It doesn't matter. You're going to have your own AI twin. Now, this is a game changer. If you've been in direct selling for any period of time, you know you're going to build a global business. I was looking for a global business. It doesn't get any more global than to be able to speak your own native language, but at the same time, share it in any language around the planet. So imagine even training your team, educating your team, motivating your team, giving recognition. You can now speak in your language and recognize them in their own home language. And all of those features, everything we're talking about, incredible. Only $49 or $99. So whether you want the basic package for $49 or you want the pro package for $99, we have all of those rolled up in the same tool suite. And it's extraordinary because you can't touch the pricing. Why? Because it would cost hundreds of dollars to actually pay for subscriptions for all of these different services. And instead of paying hundreds of dollars and logging into this site, I mean, I don't know about you, but I get tired of having to figure out my password again. I need a new password. Is it 6 numbers? Is it 8? I need a digit. I need this. Well, I wouldn't want to have 5 or 6, 7 different AI sites to log into that don't communicate when everything can be in one place at one time for one price and work seamlessly. And again, for $49, for $99, we have an extraordinary package. Let me break it down for you really quickly. So for $49, you get the My AI video right out of the gate. That's worth $49 in and of itself. You get the social media communicator, the business profiles, the social media growth tool, which is powerful, and you can build your network using your screenshots for your CRM. All of that's included, which is really, really exciting for $49. For $99, you get all of that, but you can not only just have for one business, you can use it for multiple businesses, and you get your instant web builder, which is incredible. You get an enhanced CRM, which is far more detailed. You can search your prospects, as I talked about, and you can recognize them and talk to them at a much higher level. And you can build your library of content for yourself. This is one of the things exciting. If you've been in sales for any period of time or you videoed yourself in the last 20 years, one of the exciting things about all this is you have a library of content you can upload into the system, and it now can communicate just like you to your prospects. It can tell an old story or it can customize a new story. That's all included. Anybody in direct selling in any company anywhere on the planet should have this service so that they could educate their teams better, that they could communicate better, that they would be able to promote better. In fact, even coming up with better tags and words to generate more business. And what I'm excited about is the fact that you can have yourself, your own avatar, if you will, telling your story. So whether you want to use your face like Larry, or his brother Gary, whether you want to have a great looking face or you're not so happy with your face, you have a face that should basically be on radio. It doesn't really matter. We like to have fun with people. You can choose any face you wish. You can have fun and get out there and tell your story. I'm more interested in building relationships and having a good time. And I want to make sure, after being in direct selling all these years, 40 years, I want to know that when I offer something, it's the best value. I've never seen, in all the years that I've been in this industry, I've never seen an opportunity to reach a wider audience of people that have more people leaning in and being interested than this, and to have an immediate result. It's powerful. It's very powerful. And the market has spoken. When over 10,000 people in a few weeks say yes, that means the market is ready for tens of millions. And we're about to tell the story, and you're about to profit on that. So we have unmatched value. When you have a product everybody wants at a price anybody can afford, the world comes knocking at your door, and that's what's going to happen here. And just think, we're just starting. So we're trying to show people we're going to have the ultimate products and services for the entrepreneur, the solopreneur, the individual sales professional, the small business. With hundreds of millions of small businesses around the world, we have the story for all of these people to get started. Do we have to have everything? No. See, one of the things you learn about life is there's enterprise solutions of AI. There's hundreds of different AI type sites. But you and I don't need hundreds of different sites. We need basic AI communication to do basic functions. 95% of the marketplace needs basic functions. Phones are funny. This particular phone could send someone to the moon for many, many decades. It's more powerful than a lot of the rockets that shoot to the moon. Just this phone itself. But the vast majority of people on these phones, they just use it to make phone calls and to check their text messages, their email, and take a look at what their buddies are doing on Facebook. But it's a very powerful tool. AI, there's a lot of powerful tools. We're going to teach people how to get on board, get on track, and make money profiting from this industry. The biggest winners of the AI revolution in front of us are the people that are going to profit on the trillions of dollars of growth ahead of us. So there's not a day that goes by you don't see in the paper, on the news, on the radio, you'll hear about it, on television. Everywhere you go, it says, hey, the AI is going to be the biggest thing in the marketplace. Well, it's going to grow from 500 billion to 2 to 3 trillion the next couple of next 5-10 years. There's a big difference between a million and a billion. $1 million in $1,000 bills is 18 inches high, but $1 billion in $1,000 bills is 150 feet higher than the Washington Monument. And we're talking about $1 trillion. The marketplace is massive, and literally billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars will be paid to people like you and I in all different businesses around the world around AI. But this company here can impact literally 10 million customers in the next 2 or 3 years. Maybe if we think big, 100 million customers over the course of the next, 5 or 10 years. Why? Because there are sites out there that have 1 billion followers, lots of them, and we have the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of hundreds of millions of people. Your timing is perfect. We have over 70 million freelancers in the United States alone, 30 million people are just kind of work for themselves. So our target markets are rich and people are willing to take action and get out there and make something happen quickly when it comes to this service. So here's what's exciting. If you tell the story, the person that invited you on the call tonight, man, they have a story for you and they have a link. If you haven't already signed up on the link, you're going to want to get that link because when you get that link, it says, I'm in business. I can tell the story now and connect other customers. And when you sell a package, you get a 50% acquisition bonus. You sell something for $50, you make $25. You sell it for $100, you make $50. What's exciting is that's the upfront sale, but you make 20% a month. So if you had 10 customers and you're making and you sell the $100 package, you're going to be making $200 a month or $2,000 a year, and you only have 10 customers. If you want to make 4,000 a year, have 20 customers. If you want to make significantly more, teach 5 or 10 people to go get 10 or 20 customers, right? So not only do you have acquisition bonuses, but you can earn multiple levels of commission through our plan. You can get paid up to 8 levels of commission on people selling our products and services. And we have 8 ranks you can participate in. Now, when we get started, there'll be a $19 annual licensing fee. And then from then on, you just get out and tell the story to as many people as you have. And the more people you tell, the bigger your organization becomes. The larger your organization becomes, you can get paid many levels in depth, up to 8 levels in depth, which is exciting. And if that wasn't exciting enough, you can actually do this in multiple languages. So in your back office, when you sign up, what we do is we allow you to adjust the languages. I know there's people on here from all over the world. I can see some people from Asia, some people in Europe right now, which is crazy. Those people are up. It's in the middle of the night. In Africa, the same thing. Why? Because they know this is a worldwide opportunity that you're not prevented based on the fact that you don't know a language. You don't have to wait for the company to translate, communication in Spanish or into German or into Korean because it's available in the back office and because people can communicate any way they wish. I have to tell you, after all the years I've been in direct selling, it really comes down to results. You can make quite a bit of income in a business when you make a sale. Like you can make a good living making a sale. You can create tremendous wealth and comfort and legacy, resources for your family with retention, keeping people. It's one thing to make a sale, it's another to keep a sale. And I'll tell you, I believe our retention will be the highest in history. And why? Because when you have a product or service people are using every day, they're comfortable, they're confident, they're excited about what they're doing, so they tell other people. And so when they're using it over and over and over again, they don't get off those subscription services. There's a reason there's hundreds of millions of people on Netflix. There's a reason there's hundreds of millions of people on Amazon. There's a reason there's 100 million people have Costco memberships because they use them over and over and over and over again. And if we introduce literally tens of millions of people to LEV AI over the next couple of years, and they're using it for all of these services, and it costs so little, but they're earning so much, that's going to have high retention. And I'm excited about what that looks like for everyone. So your timing is perfect because we're launching in a couple weeks. You're hearing about this before we have tens of millions of customers. You're hearing about this before the first million customers. You're hearing about this before we even launch. And so all that's important is that you actually get out in the marketplace and tell other people. So the person that sent you their link, sign up with that. It's free. Get it in the dashboard. Get sort of a free preview to what's going on. And I'm excited to share with you and introduce to you a good friend of mine who's really been telling an extraordinary story. And Larry Lane out there in Southern California has been going crazy with this thing. And man, I can tell you what, if you didn't know if people were interested, all you'd have to do is spend a little bit of time around Larry to realize the amount of people, not just Larry, who's professional, but the amount of people, Larry. Why don't you share some stories of all these different people, how quickly they're able to get results signing people up in LEV AI?
Hey, Scotty, absolutely. And I've now got 150 languages under my belt, but I'm going to use English tonight. So,
Right on.
but yeah, that's absolutely incredible. I love the technology. But, basically 14 days ago, I learned about LEV AI. I saw it immediately. I knew the technology was going to change the game. Our team is right at 8,000 people. We're going to hit 8,000 tonight, and people all over the world. I've got teams in Japan, I've got teams in Thailand, Vietnam, South Africa, Australia, Canada, Mexico, all over the world. And what I'm seeing with LEV AI, with the AI, technology in itself, people are interested in it. People want to learn about it. And when you tell people you've actually got a company where they can make money by using it, they can build their current sales, whether they're in a travel company, if they have a product company, if they have a crypto company, whatever it is, when you can speak in 150 languages fluently as yourself, you are going to add sales to whatever business you got. I truly believe that this is going to be the biggest company I've ever been a part of. I know what we've got with the technology. I know Terry LaCour personally. I know, him stepping out as a solo owner, that is a big deal. This is going to be a billion-dollar company. The other thing that's really incredible is we are going to be like the AI university. We are going to be educating people not only on these amazing tools every week, how to use them, how to benefit from them, how to use them to grow your business, but also how to build that membership. Like Scotty just showed you, how to build that membership and start to build a residual income. So this is a game changer. We are going to be going live probably in about a week to 10 days, could be sooner. This is where you need to be talking to everybody you know. Send out a free invite and say, look, I know you want to know about AI. Here is my link. Grab a free position and you're going to get the first look. You're going to get a VIP look. And I'm telling you, people will sign up because they're going to fear that they're going to miss out on something. And people are going to start to duplicate. I've got one lady, I know Randy's got stories like this. She's never been able to sign people up in any business, but she said, Larry, I just send out my link. I give them the little blurb and I've got like 42 personals, and she's got 300 people in her team in about 9 days. So don't think you can't do it. Get out there and share it. It will grow. And like Scotty said, everybody is going to be using this technology for $49 to be able to have that identical twin. It's you. It speaks in 150 languages. That is going to change anybody's business. So great job tonight, Scotty. I know Randy took the night off, much needed. He's been going nonstop. So glad to be here with you, my friend.
Yeah, appreciate that. And I'm just so proud of everything that's going on. The team's working so hard behind the scenes. So definitely, if you're out there, man, you can trust this company because it's proven management for many, many decades. The ownership understands where we're headed, has the funds, very, very deep funds to tell the story. And we're just in the right place at the right time. And so all we need to do is open our mouths, Larry, and just get this story out there. So we're going to do some calls tomorrow. Same thing. We do a noon call Eastern Standard Time and again at 9 o'clock in the evening. So load those lines up. You still have lots of time tonight to send out some links and tell people what you saw. And then we'll get this recording out as soon as we possibly can. All
Good
right.
night,
Good night,
everybody. Thanks,
everybody.
Scotty.
Yep.